Hello, everyone. Thank you all so much for being here. Sorry, I didn't put my devices on Do Not Disturb. Yeah, it's on Do Not Disturb. All right, everyone, come on in, come on in. I've had a busy day, a busy mom day. But so no cooking today. I'll be back in the kitchen tomorrow. Wednesday's cooking with Aisha. So I just wanted to hop on and do a quick Q&A. We do these from time to time. We'll take attendance and see who's here. And if you have any questions for me, no monologue, nothing prepared, just finally sitting down and make sure sound is okay. And we can talk about food. We can talk about femininity. We can talk about family, relationships, whatever you think I can help you with. For anybody new here, please allow me to introduce myself. Hi, I am Maggie, your substitute teacher. Welcome to another Ask Me Anything Q&A. Oh dear. So anyway, yes, I'm not a doctor. I am just a mom, a home cooker, an etiquette student, and with life and relationship experience, married, my college boyfriend at 25, two kids from marriage. I always say I got caught up in the modern woman mindset that I could do everything like a man, thought it was supposed to be 50-50. So unfortunately, it ended in divorce after 10 years. But I loved being married. And since then, I've been in a long term, 12 years with a 1% man. So a lot of change for me, but I couldn't be happier. So we're just going to take attendance. If you have a question for me, you can just put it in the chat. You can put a Q in front of it if you're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or Twitter. IG, you all can use the question button at the bottom. And TikTok, I guess you're just going to have to put it in the chat. Sorry, y'all. All right, so let's see, who do we have here? TikTok, you guys are so long. I'm just going to go through them quickly. Pisces, Lispo, Sherilyn, Just Be, New, HE, User, Shirley, Just Be Real, Doc, G, Lynn, Shammy, Joy, Janet, Hazel, Don, Beach, Kenneth, William, Baby Cake, Samanita, Papa, Elegance, User, Hattie, Joe, Hunt, Judy, Diana, and Marion says, hi, Maggie. Hello, sweetheart. All right, let's see, who all do we have over here on IG? We have Zero, Reality, Era, Nate. We have Keel, Key. We have Beast, or no, Best, I'm sorry. Natural. We have EB, I am a dad. Key has a question. She says, Maggie, what did you think about the whole conversation of talking at the Essence Festival? Let me tell you guys, I do not keep up with pop culture. So if you could make it more specific, I really don't know what happened. I stay off of, I use social media for things that make me better once I've watched it. So let me know what happened. Fave Chef, Ragnar, Luke Casely is here. Oh, Kisa says, okay, you're asking about Kisus, and Key is a he. Okay, so Kisus is asking me about the dancing. I see the word that you have on the chat, but I'm very intentional about my channel being happy, wholesome, and family friendly. So was it in general? Was it somebody specific? Because if you're asking me about that type of dancing in general, that's not something that I do, but I understand some people like it. So please help me out with the question. Hi, Neek. All right, who all do we have over here? We got Michael Wendy. Hello, my dear. Thank you so much for being here. Linda Kelly, she says, hello, Maggie. Hello, my dear. Celine says, hi, Mags. Hey, sweetheart. Celine says, I love the pearl necklaces you always wear. So elegant. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. You all know the story behind it. And I did find the earring. It was up underneath the stove, y'all. And then I lost my other earring. So I'm a little bit discombobulated. But yeah, if you all were with me yesterday for the plantains, I swung my head and the earring flew. So I was wearing the spare pair. But this is the set that my mom gave me. So thank you for the compliment. I wore it one stream after a meeting at work, and I didn't wear it the next day. And Kademia was like, "Where are the pearls?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm not wearing them today." He was like, "Yes, you are." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Ever since then, I wear the pearls for you all. Pearls for you all. Thank you so much. Tara says, "Hi, Miss Maggie." Celine says, "Hello, Tara." Celine says, "I watched Titanic the other day, and when Jack was eating with the upper echelon, I could relate to how he acted." Are you talking about kind of feeling out of place when you are in, that kind of company? I think it's normal. I mean, we're all regular people, and sometimes we get self-conscious. It's not about being perfect. I'm an etiquette student. I am coming out with a course, but um, it's not about being perfect. Y'all know I mess up all the time, but it is just knowing what's appropriate when you do get in those different environments. But there's lots of free resources. You can also join my $1 Patreon. I post there every day little tips so that you can always be on your best and try to be as elegant as possible. But y'all, I have imposter syndrome. Sometimes I'm just like, I don't really belong here. Y'all know I'm a small town girl. I do like nice things. And so for me, I want to present myself the best and represent myself well, represent you all well. We have Real Bravado here. Hello, sir. We got BJ. We got 24/7. Okay, Key has says, there was a controversy. So I guess this question is about the Essence Festival. And let me just say, I have not watched it. So I'm just responding to your question. There was a controversy where two female performers, one respectable and one Megan, yes, had brought on a bunch of dancers and turned the Essence Festival, which you consider a very respectable environment, into an Uncle Luke video. That's really unfortunate. Hello, Mac. So here's the thing, you all. Of course, you can dance and you can enjoy yourself and have a good time. But for me, the internet is forever. Y'all know I'm 47, right? Yeah, 47. And, I come from a time when we all did crazy things. You won't find me in any Freaknik footage, so not that. But there was just a time when you could make some of those silly decisions and it wouldn't. Got a little coffee grind in my tea. I made it in the Keurig, and it wouldn't, be there forever. What I try to do on my channel, you all. I think that at my age and with my life experience, Key, I'm old enough to have life experience, but young enough to still be relatable. And what I'm trying to do, I don't force what I do on anyone. You can absolutely make your own decisions. That is unfortunate. I remember I was an executive for the Coca-Cola company before the pandemic. And I remember, Coke used to be huge sponsors of the Essence Festival. So it's definitely a magazine and a brand that we've all grown up on. I think, it's unfortunate to me that people make decisions in the moment because they think it's fun or funny or silly. And then more often than not, they end up being kind of embarrassed or ashamed about it, afterwards. And maybe not shortly afterwards, maybe a long time after. I think you can go out, you can have a good time. I always conduct myself in the way that my children could be watching, my mom could be watching, people that I respect could be watching. And a lot of it, that's just not me. So, if that helps, when you're having a good time and you're out, if you would do that in front of, for ladies, the man of your dreams, if his mother was watching, then, have at it. But it's unfortunate. I haven't seen the footage. Maybe I did see a clip, but that's just not how I get down. So hopefully that answers your question. Yes, that's right. No Freaknik footage over here. I saw it. It was in Atlanta. But yeah, that's just not me, y'all. But I look, this is the world we live in. I understand. We got Lily here. She says, hi, everyone. Hello, my dear. Erin Laura says, good evening, Maggie in class. Good evening, Erin from Canada. You left me such a sweet comment today. I appreciate that. Thank you for the support. One of my day one scholars. Some of y'all have been here through all of the struggling and before any of this big stuff happened. So I appreciate it. We got Mona D here. She says, hello, Maggie in class. Hello, my dear. Thank you all for liking the live stream. Oh, I am going to ask you all, if you could please multitask during tonight's stream and vote for me. A shameless plug. I am part of the Favorite Chef competition. There's going to be another cut on Thursday. You can vote for free once per 24 hours. And of course, you can buy extra votes, but I am not asking y'all to spend a dime. I'm currently in first place, and we're in the group phase, and you got to make this next cut in order to move to the quarterfinals and win a chance at a trip to New York for a plating class with Carla Hall from the Food Network. So this is it's a popularity contest fundraiser, but it is a competition called Favorite Chef, and the winner gets $25,000, which I'll use for a studio kitchen, a 2-page magazine spread, and lots of publicity. And plus, I'm learning a lot too. So thank you all for voting. Even with hot tea, ladies, small, silent sips. Always giving you your unsolicited feedback. There's Erin on IG. Let me make sure you're a moderator. Okay, thank you, my dear. Oh, yes. Mona has dropped the link in the chat. You can also scan the barcode. We have Candy Apple. So cute. And look at the baby there watching on Facebook. Thank you. She says, good luck. Okay, Coco Nut says, hello, Queenie. Thank you so much on TikTok. Nick says, you would have been in Freaknik with 10 kids. Oh, my goodness. No, y'all. It's just, a lot of it is just not me. And so I accept that I'm a little bit square. I've been called, everything under the sun, but you just make the decisions that work for you. And I'll keep doing what I'm doing, and they can keep doing what they're doing. All right, what questions do you all have tonight? Hello, Marion. Coco says, I hope you win the contest. Marion says, me too. You want a PhD. Is that a question? Erin Laura says, IG is a different beast. Yeah, Linda Kelly says it's double points today to 9 p.m. to vote for Maggie for Favorite Chef. So is it double points for the free vote? I'll pull that up while I'm waiting on questions. If y'all don't have any questions, we can make this a really short one. If you're new here, I do stream every day. Usually it's a cooking stream, about 80 to 90% of the time. However, long day today. I did take some footage, but I got Nana signed up at the local senior center. So we got all of her paperwork done. She sat for her picture and ID. Y'all, they have a pool. They have all the classes. They have sewing. They have lectures, a library, a hair salon, like all of that stuff. And then Marcus wanted to go to Dave & Buster's with his girlfriend. So I had to drive, pick him up from Dad's, take them to Dave & Buster's. And then tonight was Alex's open house for school. We're coming up on back to school in Atlanta. Then I got to sit through back to school and then go back and pick up everybody and drop them. So didn't get a chance to cook today, but I do stream usually every day, dinner time Eastern. It's late tonight. And then oh my goodness, I didn't charge that. Oops. On the weekends, I usually try to go earlier. We got a stream sponsor already, and I see a question. Nick once meant plantain. Oh, okay. You're gonna cook tomorrow? Oh, Marion's gonna cook tomorrow. That's right. Cook along with Aisha. We got a stream sponsor coming to the front of the class. You all know her and you love her. Hello, 77. With the $5 super chat, Lucy, you didn't have to do that. I appreciate you. So we're going to put Lucy in the ticker as a stream sponsor. The stream sponsor is the person who gives the biggest Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, Facebook stars, Instagram gifts, Twitter tips, gold doubloons. I just appreciate y'all being here so much. But when you go above and beyond, I didn't find $5 in the laundry today. So thank you, Lucy. She is our stream sponsor. I'm doing a load in the dishwasher, so I don't know if y'all hear that. Sorry. But gotta keep a clean kitchen. Is Luke Hazley. Luke Hazley. I always wonder if it's S-E or L-E. Luke Hazley 20. Y'all please check out Luke Hazley. She also has a YouTube channel. She teaches Spanish, and she also is so passionate about femininity, elegance, and etiquette, so much so that I cannot wait. We are working on something very hard for you all. You've been asking, and I've been posting it in my reels and my shorts. Something very special is coming. We're going to announce it August 1st. If you've been waiting for a community that supports your femininity journey, yeah, I think you're going to be very excited. Hello, Big Dog. Hello, D. Harris. So Lucy says, oh, you always get me with this one. Let me turn this down. It's like, okay. Well, I don't know. All right. Lucy says, what books would you recommend young women to read? Oh, dear. To understand what a relationship is and to better prepare for marriage. Question by Lily. Oh, did I miss Lily's question? I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness. I'm just scrolling back. Aye! Y'all, I missed it. I got stuff at the top. Okay. This is a tough one for me, not only because I'm not, this is going to sound bad. I was going to say I'm not an avid reader. Like I do audiobooks, but I'm struggling with books to read to understand what a relationship is. I don't think a book can tell you. I mean, there's definitely books that can help. You can learn what you like and what you don't like. But I think there's two things that give you relationship experience. And I would say it's what you see demonstrated and it's what you actually experience. So if you know as a woman, young woman, that marriage is what you ultimately want, I always share with you all, I was raised in a traditional home. Mom and dad been together 50 years. I mean, and so when I got married, I just copied what I saw my mom do. It was just like autopilot. I was kind of running a house at 13. I understand that not everybody has that. So you're going to have to seek it out if you haven't seen that. Some of us haven't seen, a healthy relationship. And so you don't have that good baseline for what to expect. So that's one, your family of origin taught you a lot. Maybe it taught you what to do. Maybe it taught you what not to do. We can all learn from others. Then on top of that, it is your own experience, and that's why, like, even though I was tired today driving around these kids, I think it is important, not that it's the focus, but especially as a young woman, if you know that marriage is a priority for you. I personally don't see the value in a hot girl summer or a lot of casual experience because for me, it just wastes time. And time is not something that you have if you know you want marriage. So I would say know the type of wife you want to be. Know the type of marriage that you want to have because there are different kinds. And even though I'm traditional, I always say I understand and I accept that there are different kind of relationships. And I say traditional and traditional goes together, modern and modern goes together. Maybe there's a hybrid, but you've got to be able to communicate that. And I would say exclusively date the type of men that want that same type of marriage. So if you want the type of marriage where you are just single, not single, but married with no kids, and you all work and you split everything down the middle, there is a man for that. And I am not saying it's better or worse, but if you want to, work less or work from home, focus on the family, then that's a different kind of man. So, you're not going to strike lightning with the first one, or maybe you will, but I would say, get about the business of prioritizing relationships, because as women, we have youth for a while, and hopefully you've used your youth and beauty to attract what it is that you want. There's a part of me that says, any books. I mean, I'm thinking the Bible, but that's, for me, it's kind of like any books that reinforce the type of relationship that you want. Again, so you can read, like, if you read like romance novels and he just comes and sweeps you off your feet, that's not that's not real. So I'm struggling with the books part, but anywhere that you can either get that example demonstrated or experience it yourself. Hopefully that helps, Lily. And I'm sorry I missed your question. I see the questions are coming in. Hey, peace. All right, y'all. What does Celine say? Ecclesiastes says to remember your creator in the days of your youth, being a Baptist group online from 18 now. Oh, being in a Baptist group online from 18 has been a huge help and kept you out of a lot of bad things. Yeah, I believe it. I absolutely support it. I mean, I grew up in the youth group and all of that, and Celine is improving. Did I miss? Oh, I think I missed taking attendance down here. Let me keep going, y'all. I missed some, and then we'll go back around and do some more questions. We have Alex Abraham Anderson. My first time seeing you, saying love watching you. Thank you so much, and thank you for watching on Facebook. Welcome to a Q&A. Ann Sand says, you're like the mother I wish I had. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, I've kind of accepted I'm kind of that, that mom. And I feel like 47 is 47, y'all. I'm not trying to compete with anybody. I believe in acting age appropriate, dressing age appropriate for me. I think there's a lot of beauty in that, and I'm looking forward to my golden years, over 50. Got a couple more years with these kids in high school, but when you've made the decisions that support the type of life that you want to have, and for me, prioritizing relationships, the future can be very sweet. Candy Apple says, good luck. I see you all. I'm coming around. We got Mallory. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, Linda says it's double points for Maggie. Is it double points for free or is it double points for paid? Because I'm not asking you all to spend a dime. But yes, if you want to donate, the Favorite Chef competition supports the James Beard Foundation, which is philanthropic and challenges like food insecurity. All right, let me see. Celine says, you're a square too. Absolutely. Hello, everyone. Diana says, when did I go to grad school, before or after the kids? That's a great question. It was before the kids. So we were married 10 years, and we waited like 6 years before having kids. Hello, Certified Jimmy. Thank you for the compliment. I don't know if this was good or not good, but I just have to be honest with you all. So got married, and within like 6 months to a year, I went to grad school. So I had a college boyfriend, married him right after college, right after I graduated. And then the job that I had, I didn't love it. So I know I wanted to move into technology because my ex-husband was like, you're smart, you can do this stuff too. But I didn't have the credentials for it. And then also, like I said, the company that I was working for at the time, great company, they offered something that is very rare, 100% tuition reimbursement, which means if I pay for a class, they would give me all of the money back as long as I got a passing grade, which was a C. But for graduate school, you have to have a B average anyway. And so I was thinking about leaving the company that I was with because I didn't really like the job. I kind of made a decision graduating and deciding not to go to medical school. It's like, okay, well, I got to work. So this company came to Spelman, and we had a great career placement office, and I interviewed with a lot of people, and they offered me a position. And 100% tuition being reimbursement is rare. And so I decided to go ahead and take advantage of that. And so no kids yet. And University of Phoenix has an Atlanta campus. So I would work during the day and then I would go to school at night. So I was gone 8 hours for work and then 4 hours for school. And, I always like to share with you all what I've done right and what I've done wrong. And I don't know if that was the best way to start off a marriage, prioritizing that education. Now, I do work in my field, and it's been good because with years of experience, I have been able to support myself and the kids. But if I'm so fortunate to get a second time around, I would really enjoy the honeymoon time. Yeah, not honeymoon. Yeah, honeymoon. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Newlywed time. Sorry. Ann Sand says, not a question, however, I like how realistic your cooking videos are. Growing up, my mother would never let me in the kitchen, and I simply never learned how to cook until adulthood. Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that. I've taught both boys how to cook. Well, first of all, thank you for the compliment. I struggle cook all the time. I mess up all the time. Neek says you can't cook. I'll see your question in just a moment. But my mom brought us in the kitchen when we were young, and I just did the same thing with the boys. A lot of it has just been autopilot. So I had a step stool with them, and of course, kids like to eat. So bringing them in the kitchen with me and having them, you know, learn how to flip a pancake and stuff like that. And I've got two boys. I don't have daughters, so there are so many resources now. There are real chefs online. Y'all know I'm not a real chef, but yeah, I really try to explain and teach you all what I'm doing. And even though I'm your substitute teacher because I do sugar-free, dairy-free, and gluten-free, hello, Uncle Stu, hello, Kitro, you can always use real ingredients with my recipes, so butter and all of that, if that's what you eat. Thank you for the compliment. Yes, we love Luke Hazley. All right, y'all, I'm coming down. I'm just coming. Oh my goodness. We have Pierre Bike Life TV. Thank you so much for being here. My first time seeing you here. Celine says some of my favorite love stories in the Bible of Ruth and Song of Solomon. Yeah, even like Jezebel, all of them. Like, you can learn something. Hello forevermore. Let me just scroll back and see if I missed anything on Instagram. Aaron Lars welcoming you all. Hello, face name. Okay, I think we got everyone on IG. Marion says, do you believe that two people can hold different spiritual beliefs can be successful together? Yes, but I think that's a tough one. Like, if you're going to have kids, especially like once you get married and have kids, you just kind of start to impart how you were raised. I mean, I was raised Presbyterian. I think my ex-husband was Baptist. I mean, still both Christian, but it also depends, in my opinion, and I am not a clergy person, but I think it also depends on um, how orthodox they are with their faith. Are they kind of the Easter and Christmas Christian? Or are they like, I like to go to service every Sunday, There's lots of different faiths where people are kind of like do it just for like tradition. But if someone's really like a believer in their faith, it's going to be hard. Now you can still show love and respect, but golly, that's going to be a tough one. Yes, it's possible. I just think it would be hard. But you just really have to decide on how you're going to practice, how you're going to raise children. If there are children, what you're going to, are you guys going to practice your faith away from each other? It's just, I don't know. That's a tough one. Hello, net worth. But thank you for the question. Linda says double points are free for today. Ooh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me put this back in the bottom. Oh, we have Luke Casey here. Yeah. If you all would vote, you get double free points. So please multitask and vote for Maggie. I appreciate it so, so much. Thank you. And apparently your votes count 2 times today. Thank you. All right, let's see. What else are y'all talking about? Yes, the Bible's a good one. When I click on something, y'all, it kind of takes me out of order. So I want to I want to make sure I get everyone. Lily says, I accept your apology. I always forget. Hello, Auntie Jenny. We missed you yesterday. All right, next question from Celine. My parents and my comment. My parents and my significant other parents have been married for almost 30 years, and it gives us a good foundation for seeing marriage as a lifelong commitment. I'm going to drop the link, y'all. I always forget it. But yeah, that's the thing, growing up in a nuclear family, and I know not everybody did, but a lot of times people think, oh my gosh, you're so, amazing, this, that, and the third. And I appreciate the compliment. But honestly, my upbringing is 70 to 80%. That's why family is so important. And I'm going to tell y'all, I was talking to Marcus' little girlfriend today, and I've told the boys, I don't care who you choose. You're going to have to look at them, not me. But it is important to me that the boys pick a young lady from a good family, because it's important to me that you see good times, bad times, mom, dad working together, sometimes not getting along, sometimes getting along. Sometimes we can eat out at restaurants. Sometimes we've got to eat, something simple at home. It's very important to me, the example of a relationship that, we have seen, because it makes such an impact. And is it the end of the world if you didn't grow up that way? No. But you're going to have to be very intentional about seeking that out if that's something that you want. Watching my parents, and they're not perfect, but I always say this about my mom. The sense of duty when it comes to relationship is what I learned from my mom. Like, of course, the cooking and the cleaning and the raising. And, I was keeping a home at 13. That's just how we were raised, right? Traditional African family in America. So not really all the way traditional, but, whether she felt like it or she didn't, whether she was happy or she wasn't, like, I just saw her, always cook for the family, always serve my dad first, always make sure he was able to come home and decompress from work and the kids didn't bother him. It was just, that's just how it was. And so it just left such an imprint on me. And so we just, we recreate what we've seen, good or bad. Hello, TQ Foster. Let me make sure I have Auntie Jenny as a moderator over here too. Neek says you can't cook. Well, you can learn. Absolutely. I don't know how to get a man. Neek says how to get a man. Well, I'm going to offer that it's not our job to get a man, if you're asking me. Okay. And again, traditional woman here, there's lots of different schools of thought, but one, know the type of, if you want marriage, right? The type of marriage that you want, relationship that you want. And then you have to know the type of woman or wife that you want to be. And then you have to not seek out, you have to present yourself and understand the type of man that complements the type of woman that you want to be. And only, when I mean by seek him out, only give that type of man your best effort and attention. Because if you want to be a wife and mother, chasing around a forever bachelor is a waste of time. It just is. It doesn't make him a bad person. It's just a waste of time. I really think we make it harder than it has to be. And when you put people together, if you are giving the men what they want and the men are giving the women what we want, I think it just kind of naturally happens. But you got to make sure you know who your preferred husband candidate is, and make sure you know what he wants, which means you got to study him, study them. All right, here I come. Luke Hazley has a book recommendation for us. She says, a good book by Suzanne Vinkers, How to Get Hitched and Stay Hitched. I love it. A 12-step program for marriage-minded women. Yeah, y'all, there's so many resources out there. I love it. I haven't read any relationships books, of course, like, the love languages and strength finders and that kind of stuff. But thank you for the recommendation. And y'all, I don't know everything. So if there's a question I can't answer, please chime in. Thank you, Lucy. Celine says, at least should be, you understand things happen, but it should be very long-term investment. That was demonstrated. Yeah. Relationships are a commitment. It's not always going to be easy, but I think if you can weather the storm, if you've picked a good one, it's always sweet in the end. Mona says, yeah, to make sure your question is seen, put a Q in front or send a super chat. I appreciate that. Okay, let me see if I can focus here. Celine says, men have all the time in the world to figure it out. Women, on the other hand, do not. Well, here's the thing with that. Oh, I see you, Marion. Um, Men have more time than women. It's just the truth, y'all. We are not equal. We're very different. I think we're beautiful and we complement each other well, but men have longer to get it right. You can meet a man my age. I'm 47, way past the wall. You can meet a man my age who did whatever. Maybe he traveled the world and decided, you know what, I'm ready to hang up the bachelor life, find a good woman, and have a family, as long as she's able to, conceive and carry. We can't do that as women because our clock, it just is what it is, y'all. So that's why I say don't waste it if that's what you want. There's so many women that get to this point at my age and they're just like, oh man, I put all my effort over here. And if I'm being honest with you all, every woman that I know past 35, talk to her, she's tired. We naturally slow down. And so, what I have noticed with men is that at this age, they kind of put it into second gear, right? They've maybe messed up and figured some things out, and now they have a hunger about them that they want to go ahead and, get it and get it right. So they have that second wind. We don't. On the flip side, though, men work and they sacrifice and they give so much, and they don't live as long as we do. So when you say men have all the time in the world, they have more time in the beginning, but they have less time at the end, my opinion. All right. So Marion says, how often do you offer your one-on-one cooking classes? Whenever you guys want them, as long as I can make it work. So I have a link in my link tree. I believe it's in my TikTok description. It's also in all of my streams. Thank you all for the hearts and the love. If you want to have a Maggie meeting with me, you can have it for whatever reason. Hello, Otome. So, people used to ask, do you do one-on-one consultations? And I said, yeah, we'll do consultations about whatever you want to talk about, right? It could be, I've helped people with their resume. I've helped people with relationships. I've helped people with a variety of things. And so it's kind of like you book the time, 30 minutes or an hour, and however do you want to use the time. So I work from home in technology. So, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 is kind of out because I'm working. I'm looking, my battery is low. I might have to go get the charger. But you just request the time that you want, and then I will see if it works with my schedule. And then depending on what you want to make, literally, it's like the side by side, and it's just not live streamed. And I can help you, cook whatever you want to make. So yeah, my schedule is available to you all. Again, if you all want to chat, you can click the link. I'm just trying to make my way around. Celine says your boyfriend is marriage minded. That's important because they do the asking. You're gonna get married in 25 or 26. I love it. All right. Who do we have here? My first time seeing you. Is it? I'm just gonna say Cornelius or Cornelius. He says, "Hi Maggie, hope you're doing well." I'm doing well. I'm a little tired, y'all. I've been driving a lot. Unpaid Uber, these kids, but I give them what I can. Marie, hello, my dear. She says, hello, y'all. Question, I want to unplug and focus on myself for the next 6 months. I have the drive, but I'm unorganized. Any tips? Yeah, I got a tip. You got to prioritize what you want to do. So you've already time boxed it. That's a good thing. 6 months, right? So at the end of the 6 months, what do you want to have different, right? If it were me, I'd probably like, okay, I got to junk garage or junk corner that I need to really like focus on, or I want to clean out all of these contacts in my phone. I'm making it up, but you're going to want to make a list of what you want to have accomplished while you're unplugging. Because if you don't kind of plan with like a goal in mind, you'll just kind of waste the time. And maybe all you want to do is relax and do nothing. But I would offer, that you make a list of what you want to have done by the end of the 6 months. And then I would rank them in order of priority. And then you might also rank them in order of level of effort. My corporate is coming out like a little matrix of, that quadrant that gives you like the best return with the least effort, and or like paying off a credit card, and hit it that way. So 6 months, you got it. Unplug, you got it. But what do you want to be different? And I would start there. All right. Hello, KFN. Thank you so much for being here. Hopefully that helps. Yeah, good luck with that. Yeah, make a list, set reminders. Absolutely. She says thank you. Lisa voted. Thank you all so much. Let me put the double votes today, so please vote for me on favorite chef. They're making another cut on Thursday. Did Auntie Jenny come over here? Hello. I see you. Okay. Erin Laura says, I had the same experience, Aunt Sam. My mom found us more in the way. Oh, mom found you in the way, getting in the way in the kitchen, so you didn't learn much. Thankfully, you're self-taught cast iron pro. Erin Laura, what is your favorite cast iron recipe? Oh, is there nothing like a cast iron? It's so good. Needs a little TLC, but I love it. You have to share a recipe with me. I'll make it live for you. We have Alejandra. Hello, my dear. She says, Miss Maggie, how do you practice self-care? What do you like to do to make me happy? I love this question. Believe it or not, cooking is therapeutic for me. This is going to sound crazy, but cleaning and organizing, just that sense of accomplishment. But for self-care, I'm a spa girl. Pick whatever service, facials, manicure, pedicure, hair salon, even though I just wear a natural style, but just being pampered. Oh my goodness. Yeah, my guy said pick a place up in North Georgia. I see you, Diana. If you want to, it says not connected. So connect your devices. You can be camera on or camera off, and I'll bring you up once it's connected. But I love the spa. I love being like pampered. Being a boy mom, they're so like rough and tumble. So it's just kind of like, it's nice to just sit back and, oh my goodness. So that's what I do for self-care, and it makes me very happy. Very, very happy. Thank you for the question. All right, let's see. Oh, I'm just scrolling here. We got Auntie Jenny in the house. You all know her and love her. Let me see if I have anything on TikTok. The saxophone guy says, do I like cheeseburgers? You better believe it. Oh, I love cheeseburgers. That's the problem. I love them too much. Fasting today. I'll be cooking and eating tomorrow. Got to get the rest of this weight off. But yeah, I love a good cheeseburger. Yes, Neek, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you all so much. I'm just scrolling to see. Okay. Hello, everyone on TikTok. All right, let me keep scrolling down here. All right, we got a self-care. Auntie Jenny saying hello to everyone. Who do we have here? We have Bria in the house. Hello, my dear. Good to see you. We've been talking offline. Auntie Jenny says, my man picked me and we've been together for the last 32 years. We're perfect for each other. There you go. Hello, submitted sister and Thai boy. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I just think, and I've seen this, and, I always like to share from my own personal experience with you all. You finish the way that you start. So if you are, in my opinion, when a woman pursues a man, I think it just kind of sets a precedent that's an imbalance that for me is a little bit natural. Like, I've never done it. I've been out with girlfriends and they're like, yeah, like after my divorce, they were like, yeah, go up to that man and tell him this, that, and the third. And I just sat there and I couldn't do it. Now, there are ways to let a man know that you're interested. You can absolutely do that. I would use my network. I would probably have a friend reach out and, say, you got a secret admirer or something like that. But I'm old. But I just, getting in front as a woman, believe me, you'll get to a point where you don't want to do that anymore, and then you will resent the situation that you've created for yourself. So I would focus on making yourself the best version and being appealing for the type of man that you want. Hello, Lucas. Thank you so much for being here. What does Lily say? Oh, I appreciate what Luke Hazley did and recommend reading the Bible as a book to read. Yeah, I've read the Bible every year. I have an app on my phone, so I have it read to me every morning. Just a little bit of scripture. Just I love the Old Testament Bible stories. I don't know. I mean, I just grew up with that, but yeah, there's a lot of old books and there's a lot of good books too. And you appreciate all the books listed for women to read to better understand marriage. Yeah. And here's the thing, y'all. I'll just say this. People can define it how they want to, but marriage has been around for a long time, and there are just some things that have worked for thousands of years. So, of course, you want to make it your own, have at it. Who am I to judge? But I just think, this modern way that we are in is a very small sliver of time compared to what's been happening for centuries. Hello, Lucas. Gail has a question. Gail, so good to see you here. Gail at night says, how old were you when you started learning to cook? How old were you when you cooked your first meal all by yourself? Wow. I always say I've been cooking since 1842. Mom had us in the kitchen, just like what I did to the boys. I remember having an apron and a stool, little step stool. So definitely under 10, probably like 7 or 8. I mean, I just have memories of, being in the cart, grocery shopping with mom and, learning how to get produce and talking to people. Like, I remember being so small that I was in the front part of the shopping cart, right? Where you could stick your little legs through. And then we would come home and I'd help mom unload the groceries and we put stuff away and she would tell me what we were cooking. So for me, the cooking was kind of a whole process of, I know I buy online now, but it was like you go to the grocery store, you get your ingredients and you come make a meal, right? So it was like the whole process. I'd probably say 7 or 8 when I was actually like, on the stove. Before then, it was like, peeling vegetables and little stuff like that. As far as cooking my first meal by myself, probably like 12 or 13. And then my dad was like, oh no, Maggie made this. Let me get the Pepto. But yeah, y'all, we were just raised differently. Like, my mom told me when I was little, Maggie, if you do not cook for your children, who will cook for them? And I'm like, I'm playing with Barbies and I'm selling Girl Scout cookies. I don't know what you're talking about, Mom, but it was just the expectation that you need to be able to do this for your own family. And I'm so grateful. Hello, Made by Music. Oh, thank you for the question, Gail. So good to see you. Yes, y'all can call in if you want to. I didn't see whoever was in the back. It said device not connected, so I tried to click on it. You just need either a phone or a computer, iPad or whatever with a microphone. You can be camera on or camera off. Diana says, would you get involved in a relationship again? Yeah, I'm happily spoken for. I've been in a long-term relationship since the divorce. So I've had 2 long-term relationships, a marriage for 10 years, absolutely love being married. Hello, Greg. And then I've been in a very different but also very long-term relationship. Well, shout out to Auntie Jenny, 32 years, but 12 years. And, the lesson in that, I would absolutely marry again, but there are children involved. And I think the responsibility that I have as a mother is to, finish the job that I've started. And if I'm being really frank, my guy has basically said, after the kids are raised. There are kids on both sides. So when the boys are here, I'm mom. When they're at their dad's, I have my time. But yeah, I absolutely love relationship. I love cooking and serving and spending time together and laughing and sharing and just all of that. Absolutely. So um I need a man. Like I want to be in a relationship. I know some people can take it or leave it. That's not me. So I love love. Hello, Sassy, and hello, Arctic Freeze. Thank you for the question, Diana. Marion says, I desire and am open to marriage for the right man for me. Absolutely. Y'all, we got Marion. She's single. I'm not a matchmaker. Someone has asked, a couple of people have asked. I'm not a matchmaker, but yeah. And, I love what you're saying here, Marion, that you desire and you're open to marriage. Absolutely. I don't think there's any shame in saying, I loved being married. I would absolutely marry again. I love being a wife and a mother. I mean, I got a lot of paper accomplishments, but that is my pride and joy. And I think it's a beautiful thing. And yeah, you definitely got to pick a good one. But man, when you do, own it, right? Yeah. Because if that's how you feel and that's what you want, it's not going to change. And I'm speaking from experience because, I remember like always wanting to be a wife and mother. And, I started working like everybody else after college and just unfortunately for me, corporate America, when you're in that competitive environment and that masculine environment and women are trying to climb the corporate ladder, you just think that's normal. So I just got caught up in that too, in the promotion. And I remember saying something about, wanting to be a wife and mother, and people look at you like you're crazy. And I just kind of pushed it down and kept it private, but it never went away. I just learned, okay, we don't talk about that here, but I absolutely adore it. Even with these teenagers that drive me nuts, it's just like when I make a meal and they're here and they just say, thanks, mom. And they come give me a hug and that's it. I'm just like, there's nothing better for me. Hello, Ochi. I'm such a softie. Hello, Shamu. Auntie Jenny has a book recommendation. She says, I recommend Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus. And you've been reading it for 30 years or so. Y'all are giving some recommendations here. I may have to add that to my Audible. I'm more of like a podcast or YouTube. Like I always have my earbuds in and I'm listening to self-development. So that's more of what I do. But it looks like there's lots of books for those of y'all who want to curl up with a good book. Uh-oh. Who do we have here? You all know him and you all love him. The Quiet Storm says, no, we do not, Celine. We die earlier than women. Yeah, I touched on that. So Celine made a comment that men have so much time to figure out. I can't remember the comment. I should have started, but men have more time than we do on the front end, but they don't on the back end. So a man builds himself, and that's why when he's ready, he moves like that because he's like, okay, I've wasted enough time. I'm ready for a family and for my legacy. And so they move with the swiftness when they're ready. And sometimes for those of us that are like, wait a minute, I've known you all these years. I've had that experience as well. But yeah, they do unfortunately pass before we do. Shamu says, when are you going to be in another podcast? I don't have any plans to. I did. Y'all know I had that viral clip and there was a lot of traction that came from that. And we just crossed over 39,000 on YouTube. So we're coming up on 40K. And there were a lot of people that wanted to do interviews and podcasts. And I did. I sat down and I talked to a lot of people. But I've been working on some other projects that you'll be hearing about very soon. But a producer did reach out to me and I made a short about this. Apparently the traditional wife or the trad wife trend, if it's a trend, is got some traction. So there may be something in the works. So we'll see about that. Aaron Laura says, you heard it's a classic. The Quiet Storm. Oh, you're going to get me right in the heart. God, I miss him. The Quiet Storm says, did Kevin Samuels teach you anything? God, he taught me so much. I have 3 YouTube channels, y'all. Maggie, the substitute teacher, is my cooking channel. Oh, I should have been streaming on my Teachable Moments. Let me see. Can I add that? It won't let me add that. Oh, shucks. I forgot to put it over there. Let's see. I hope I don't mess this up. I'm trying to add my other channel and see if it'll stream. Okay. So the question is, did Kevin Samuels teach me anything? Hello, Coach Massey. So much. So I was fortunate to book a session with him. Like a lot of y'all, I heard Kevin Samuels, Average at Best was the first thing I heard. And I was like, who is this man? But circling back to what I said about kind of the upbringing that I have being traditional, and I just learned to kind of keep my mouth shut in mixed company because nobody was really trying to hear it. I've been called Nettie Pearl, Susie Homemaker, Betty Crocker, like in a disparaging way. And so I just kind of learned, and I know I'm square, I'm lame, I'm all of that. Fast forward now, it's all the rage, but I've been this way forever. And so what Kevin Samuels really did for me is he gave permission to be like proud of prioritizing relationships and be having traditional values. And I had not heard that on a popular kind of platform, right? It was just kind of this thing that we kind of kept to ourselves. And when I booked that session with him, like I said, you all, I'm a boy mom, so no daughters and no sisters. And so I just wanted to give back because every time, he would try to help women that would call in, and he was like, I can't do this. Where are the older women to teach the young? Like, I can only do so much. Hello, Dean, Joe, and Doggy. Thank you all so much for being here. And so long story short, I was really convicted by, him saying that I just felt like, okay, I got to do something, because people would always compliment me and I'm like, okay, thank you. So long story short, I created a community he actually named it the Wives Club. And we started in his Patreon, reacting to his videos. And now we have another channel called the Wives Club. And we've just recently gotten monetized. So if you all are interested in that type of relationship content from former wives, current wives, and future wives, or if you want to be on the panel, we'll be streaming Friday at 8:30. We'll have our monetization party. You can reach out to me if you want to join. But the other thing that Kevin Samuels really taught me, because I'm a woman and I have the girl experience, shout out to the men. And, y'all may not know, the boys pretty much live with their dad now that they're teenagers and visit me, kind of unexpected. We had kind of a moment, and he was like, pack your stuff, you're coming with me. And I was like, you heard your father, right? So, I didn't really pay attention, even though I have a brother, I didn't really pay attention to the phases of development for men. And I remember how he always used to say, men need that 10 years of kind of heads down, eating, what, to make themselves, because you've got to be able to command respect from your woman. You have to. And it's different levels for different people, but a woman just acts differently when she respects you. I mean, I respect everybody, but you all know what I'm talking about. And so that really helped me as a boy mom, especially watching the stages of life for the boys. They've been running around crazy and doing stuff. And that's where my viral clip came from. Men really see themselves in younger men, and women see themselves as younger women. So he really helped me prepare myself and pump the brakes as a mom, and just let the men be men. Let dad be dad. Let the men at the barbershop snatch up the boys. Let the coaches talk to them. Let the teacher, just let the men raise the men. That helped me so much. Shout out to Kevin. I miss him. Oh, thank you for the question, The Quiet Storm. Yes, we love The Quiet Storm. Excellent question. I hope I answered it well. I just tell you guys what I know. Bria says, also make sure whoever you marry, you are attracted to intimately, in addition to the husband character traits. Yes, but, and I understand what you're saying, and I don't disagree. I believe intimacy is a huge part of a relationship, and it's beautiful. Um, I also know that there are different types of marriages, and people get married for different reasons. Sometimes people get married for papers. Sometimes people get married for military. Sometimes people get married for benefits. Sometimes people just, I don't want to die alone and I got a health condition. So that is the only caveat I would say. I know it's important to me and it's important to a lot of you all, but I do understand and I respect that people are different in the ways that they express love, and that's all that I'll say. Thank you. What does Auntie Jenny say? As we haven't a lot of time, we need to start training to be wives from early. My 6-year-old glam daughter, I love that. Glam daughter can cook a proper meal for her family. I'm teaching her how to be a wife from a young age. Shout out to Auntie Jenny. Here's the thing, you all. I would say if you have the knowledge and you don't use it, that's one thing, but it breaks my heart. And I'll never say who they are, but you all know that I do consults one-on-one, and I can't tell you how many women in their early 30s are like, Maggie, help me. My mother should have taught me this. I don't know what I'm doing. It's tragic. Hello, Smooth, and it's unnecessary. So I would offer, just like Auntie Jenny said, get all that knowledge. I think it's best when you have the knowledge and you put it into practice. But I just know too many women who have given 10 years, their best years to hot girl summer or corporate ladder or whatever. And then they get to the early mid 30s and they're like, now what do I do? It's going to be harder. It's going to be harder. Thank you, Auntie Jenny. Yes, drop the link if you all want to chat. Camera on or camera off. Let me see. Nothing else on TikTok. Nothing else on IG. Trying to make my rounds. Ah, Auntie Jenny says, buy one secondhand. Is it the cast iron? What are we talking about? Did I miss something, y'all? Y'all know I'm slow. What is the quiet storm said? Kevin Samuels' passing was a stern reminder that tomorrow is not promised to men. And he was a cancer survivor and at a healthy weight. I'm telling y'all, we don't know how much time we have. And of course, enjoy your life. And of course, live your life. But the quiet storm is right. Um, Make the most of every day. Tell the people that you love them. Tell the people that you love them. That's why I come here every day, and I am grateful. I think the internet is a tool, and I am intentional about making content that will long outlive me and continue to make you all proud. But yeah, men usually work until they unfortunately can't anymore. The whole idea of like retiring and, sailing off into the sunset, that's what we women want to do. If we're being honest, I'm ready to set it down, right? My man's got a plan to retire me early, but still, usually men will take on a second job, a third job even, and just work because they got a goal and they're laser focused. That's one of the ways that we're different. Women, it's like, okay, we achieved that. We take a break. Hello, Coach. Hello, UG. All right, let's see what else we have here. We have Cornelia says, I guess my question would be, how do I deal with crushing loneliness? I'm okay now, but yesterday I just thought to myself, why does no one love me after I was out yesterday seeing couples together? Oh, heartbreaking. Okay, so Cornelius, I don't know. I'm assuming you're a man. I don't know. But thank you for the question. And it's real, right? I really do think we are better together, and nobody wants to be alone. I think about Kevin Samuels, buy a dog and die alone. But I think about it, I mean, I don't want to live alone, right? I don't want to age by myself. So if you're lonely, the good news is there is something that you can do about it. Now, there are so many communities of people that have the same interest. Really, all it is finding your tribe, right? So whether it's a cooking class or whether it's, a travel group or whether it's they have events at the library, concerts, there's cruises for solo people. I think if you put yourself around people that you have similar interests with, what it does is it allows you to naturally have a conversation, right? Because you already know that you have something in common. So it's not like, what do you do? Oh, what do you do? The loneliness part is real, but it can be fixable. And I think, when you start with acquaintances and then friends, and then I think ultimately relationships are possible if you are the best version of yourself and the type, I'm assuming man, the type of man that is that has knows and has something to offer, call it the benefits package. Shout out to Kevin Samuels, but be crystal clear about what you want. Are you looking for, marriage? Are you just looking for companionship? Are you looking for family? Are you looking I think there's something very attractive about a man that's decisive, right? I love that about my guy, and I tell him all the time, I can't even make it through a menu that has too many pages. I want everything. So, if you are a man and if you're lonely, it's one of those things you got to dust ourselves off and get back out there, but start with a group of people that you share some interests with, and you'll never know where it goes from there. Marie says, thank you, Maggie, in the chat. I'm glad y'all were able to help too. Luke Hazley says, spas rule. Good ones are the best. Lucy, we gotta go together. I wanna go, I think I wanna go to this like North Georgia winery and spa. I feel like such a woman afterwards. Oh my goodness. But yeah, when we get together, either when I come to California or when you come to Atlanta, we got to go to the spa. Yes. Auntie Jenny says, try the SMART goals to help organize yourself. Absolutely. Specific, measurable, action, and time-based. Did I get the acronym right? I've heard it used in different ways, but yes, make sure when you have a goal, it's basically saying you don't want it to be pie in the sky. Oh, I'd like to lose 50 pounds. Okay. I would like to lose 5 pounds by walking every day, drinking water, and eliminating sugar from my diet in the next, month. I'm making it up. So, yes, absolutely. I don't see any questions over here. Aw, Gail is so nice. Auntie Jenny says venison cheeseburgers are the best. I've never had a venison cheeseburger. I've had deer like steaks. Shamu says compatibility is important. You really got to meet someone in the right window. Man, that right window. I've been the right woman at the wrong time. But if you never burn a bridge, you never know. My guy is somebody that I knew from childhood. And, like I said, I was ready and, would have been, happy to shut it down. I didn't need any other experiences, but he needed to, go live his own life. And luckily, life brought us back together. But yeah, absolutely. Aaron Laura says cast irons are pretty simple. Just a nice strip or sirloin on the stovetop is your go-to. Low and slow 8-hour stew is nice. Oh, go about the day while it cooks. That sounds so good. A cast iron steak, yeah. I made a New York strip and a ribeye. We did that with our fitness guy. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Fitness channel. Venison cheeseburger sounds great. Auntie Jenny says, just flick your hair and bat your eyelashes. Is that all you have to do to get a man? Okay. Is it working? You can get their attention, but ladies, you want to keep their attention, right? You don't just want to get their attention for a moment. You want to make There she is. You want to make an impression that leaves them wanting more. Hello, Grandma. Hello, Minute with a Stinnett. Look who we have in the back, y'all. I'm gonna bring her up here. Speaking of Auntie Jenny, ooh, you look beautiful. Hi, Auntie Jenny.
I've just got in.
Oh my goodness, you went out tonight?
I've got a dress.
Oh, you got a beautiful dress on. Okay,
But
Auntie
I'm
Jenny.
a tomboy, and all my life, my friends were laughing at me because, when you get the children, you let them dress themselves,
Hmm.
and you can tell they dress themselves. I'm the woman that people used to look and smile like, oh, look at her, you know. And then I thought, just wear a dress. You don't have to
Yes,
match anything. Just wear a dress. And so that's why
dresses
I just
are
tend that
wonderful.
when all else fails, wear a dress.
Absolutely. Yes, I'm wearing this is a shirt dress, so it's got like a collar and buttons here, but it's a dress. Dresses are instantly feminine. Dresses are easy, like Auntie Jenny said, because you don't really have to match anything. And for those of y'all who travel, I'm gonna have to travel soon. They're lighter to pack because you don't need the separates, top and bottom. So dresses are definitely a way to go.
And I liked what you said the other day. You said you're doing a cooking show and somebody complimented your dress, and it's about finding the style that suits your shape. I haven't got a lot on the top, I haven't got a lot at the back bottom, and wrap dresses that wrap or like with the shoulders, because somebody told me not to
Yes,
shoulders.
yes.
And I find that wrap dresses, they kind of give me the cleavage that I haven't got, and they tie around the waist, so they kind of like give my bottom that little definition because there isn't one. And
I
it's that finding the
understand.
style.
Yes, wrap dresses are actually great for just about every body shape. I learned this in style class because it kind of gives that natural silhouette because you want that waist definition. And y'all, like I've shared before, and thank you for the compliment, Auntie Jenny. It really is about knowing what works for you. There's some stuff that I can't wear, unlike Auntie Jenny, like I am bigger up top. So I have to make sure that I'm always modest. And so I'll have to wear like extra layers, even something that says like scoop neck or V neck. I usually have to wear high neck because I don't want to have anything out. But yes, once you learn your body type and you learn what flatters you, absolutely,
But
absolutely,
they actually sell those pieces. I used to buy them for my mum. I can't remember what it's called, a modesty something, and it's a piece that you wear, like a bit of lace that you can wear in your clothes just to cover up that cleavage bit.
absolutely. Oh, let's see what else you guys are talking about here. We're still talking about the spas in Napa Valley. I heard about the winery. A girlfriend of mine went on the wine train in California in Napa Valley. Like basically, you get on at one stop and it takes you around to different wineries and you can spend a few hours there and eat and drink, and then it takes you to the next winery. It's like an all day thing, and it ends with like a four-course dinner or something.
That's me.
Oh
I'm
my
on that
gosh.
style. I'm really particular about people touching my body.
Ah, gotcha.
And not only that, when you have certain ailments, you can't go into
Yes.
spas, you
Hello,
can't go
Ray.
into
Hello, Don.
saunas. And so the wine train is right up my path.
I know. Yes, Lucy, California spas, absolutely. Yeah, take some time off. I will take you to a beautiful spa in Georgia. I love him. Aw, you guys are talking to each other. Okay, my Instagram just died. I should have plugged it in. Oops. Sorry, y'all. Okay, what does Linda say? You love spas too. You were scheduled for a full body with back and foot scrub. It sounds incredible. I love it. Like I like to be touched. Okay, like scrub, get in there. Like I love it. I
But
absolutely.
I do I did have a, because of my health condition, I did have a deep tissue massage. I do like that.
Mhm.
I do like
Mhm. Yes,
that. Other than
absolutely.
that, if it's not medical, don't touch me.
Absolutely. I hear you.
But
Yes,
I
it was
just
Kirk
remember
Anderson.
you said this week about, I know a lot of people think spas. I know sometimes it's always good to think, yes, going to have a spa, but not everyone can afford a spa.
Yep.
And you were saying about, giving yourself a facial at home. You can get some fine salt or some fine sugar, and you and I love that. For me, to shut the door, a nice bubble bath. I normally have a glass of wine on the side of the bubble bath and just sit there and soak. And all the little samples that I pick on my journeys. You know, I
Absolutely.
was thinking, because I always travel with all these little ones. I was like, oh gosh, that's a really good clay mask. That, and they're just perfect just for a home spa. Home spas are really
Absolutely.
into. And I think every
Absolutely.
woman should do a home spa at
Hmm.
least once a month. And it doesn't cost a lot.
Exactly. You can use ingredients from your pantry. During the pandemic, I mean, we all, I did my own hair, nails, facial, like everything. It's just, it's good to know how. Going to a spa is a luxury. It's a treat. But yeah, absolutely. You can pamper yourself even if it's just getting a basin of water and soaking your feet in there and just doing a little bit of scrub and massage. Like that's incredible. All right, let's see if we
And
have
don't let
any
the
other.
men see it.
Don't
Do
let
not,
them.
do not let the men see it.
Mm-mm. And
My
that's a great
hate
tip.
is when women, we have hair in places on our faces that we don't want the men to see. You know, we bleach, we pluck, we tweeze. The men do not want to see it. They don't want to
Absolutely.
see you sitting there scrubbing your feet. There's some things that you just have to like take to the side by yourself and just turn up like, ta-da! You know,
Absolutely. And that's a really good grooming tip for anyone. Like, if you need to fix anything, you should do that in private. Don't pick your teeth or like none of that stuff. Go to the bathroom, handle, what you need to handle, and then you Oh, yes, it was Kirk Anderson. I did a collab with him and I made a steak, a ribeye. It was so good. Yes, wineries are great. That's another self-care because you can get like the little cheese and crackers and sit out, usually a beautiful view. Absolutely.
and can I just say, for the lady that said that she was lonely, only when you said wineries, I remember getting all the women together and we just had a cheese and wine party at home.
Oh, that sounds so
And we got
good.
steaks and cheese and olives and all the different hams and prosciutto, everything. And we just sat there and just nibbled.
Oh, that
And
sounds so
the
good.
same thing like what we're doing now. We just sort of sat there and bounced ideas off of each. You have to choose the right group though,
Yeah.
because we don't want any of that conversations that we're trying not to have,
Oh, yeah.
or
Absolutely.
conversations that we shouldn't be having, conversations that are only between a couple.
Absolutely, yeah. Your relationship is best between you all. You all know I'm a big believer in that. Corey has a question. How did you address the boys if they were misbehaving or being hard-headed when they were younger? You mean like today? um, you all, this parenting thing, I mean, and nobody's got it figured out. It's like one of those things that you survive. But, of course, I can say, of course, you tell them these are the rules and there's a consequence. But did I lose my temper? Absolutely. Did we punish? Absolutely. Did we reward when they did good things? Absolutely. Did we take away privileges when they didn't? Absolutely. Um, but I do know that boys, at least for me, they seem to listen to dad and men. Well, like, I can say it over and over and over again. Then I'm just like, their dad has to handle it. What about you, Auntie Jenny? You're a boy bomb.
I was a foster care as well.
Ah, so how did you
Foster care
handle
was harder.
misbehaving?
And I find that sometimes when you think that the boys are misbehaving, they're just being miniature men.
Oh
They're just
yeah,
on their feet. And as women, we tend to think, oh, they're not supposed to behave like this, but they are because they're going to be men. And as women, we can't put our femininity onto them and say, oh, well, they're too rough or they're too boisterous. Well, sometimes what you think is answering back is just an inquiry.
yeah,
Or sometimes, what am I saying is, I've told you something, it doesn't need a response. But sometimes if they give you a response, you have to say, I hear what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. This is what, and you have to explain to them. And I think the best thing you can do is if you're a woman on your own, I was a single parent
mm,
and The man that I've got now, I met him when my son was 5.
Ah,
And so he was a fantastic role model for my son. And
that's
sometimes you
important.
have to ask the men, well, this is what he's doing. Is that normal?
That is such a great point. I'm so glad you brought that up. And Corey, yes, I'm telling you, we are women and we're just different, not better or worse. We're just different. So definitely I did that too. Like I would have let certain, teachers or people say, "Oh, you need to, put them on this and I would talk to the men in my life that I knew, and they'd be like, I did 5 times worse. They'll be all right. And that was really a comfort for me. So
Mm.
knowing what's really misbehaving and what's just boys being boys. Absolutely. Celine says you shouldn't be extremely picky if your husband isn't 6 foot or has a lot of superficial things, if he has relationship traits. I'm telling you, y'all, at the end, I mean, of course, we all like things, but at the end, like someone who really cares for you, there's no tangible thing that you would trade that for. I just, mm, 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 mm. What do you
But
think about that
I
being
mean,
too
I got
picky?
surprised because I met this woman and my man was talking to her, and he said, "You need to be like Jennifer. Meet a man in 1991. Stick with him no matter what." And I thought, you remember the date? You remember the year?
Wow.
I didn't remember the year.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
When my son was 5, that was it. But he remembered it was 1991. And I thought, wow, I'm
Mm,
not convicted because I didn't. And can I just say, one, when you was talking about the Bible, I did post it. There is a scripture in there to train women.
mm,
There is a scripture in there. I think it's called the Epilogue of a Noble Woman. And that is a traditional woman that we all aspire to be. And it's in Proverbs, I think it's Proverbs 31, but I did post it.
Okay, I'm scrolling back. Sometimes, y'all, when I get new comments and they come to the bottom and it jumps to the bottom, I
Yeah.
miss what was in the middle.
It tells you certain things like, waking up in the morning, making sure everything's prepared, making your husband proud of you, looking after your children, managing money. If you break it down, that one scripture has everything.
Proverbs, yes.
And I
Mhm,
remember that's the one that we had to study. I'm a backslider, but that's one of the
mhm,
things that we had to study was how to be a woman. And
mhm,
that's it for me.
mm.
I even read it at my mum's funeral because I said that if somebody said to me, "What was your mum like?" That was my mum.
Yes, a Proverbs
Got
31
up at
woman.
sunrise. She went to bed at sunset. We woke up and it was like the shoemaker and the elves.
Mm,
Wake up and everything was ready in the morning. You think, how did she do
yeah,
that?
it's just magic. We just make it
Yeah.
happen. I know. That is awesome. Thank you so much. What does Luke Casey say? Once a good man picks you, it's smooth sailing as long as you don't sweat the small stuff. That's right. I really believe that when you get a good man and a good woman together and they keep their eye on the prize and they don't let all the other stuff get in their way, I mean, it's just like relationships are work, but I don't think they have to be difficult. What do you think, Auntie?
You said if once you get a good man and a good woman, I met a good man. I was an okay woman. I
Mm.
wouldn't say that I was a good woman. Sometimes you
Ah,
need somebody to sharpen you. So if you find a good man, as a woman, you have to realize he's a good man, appreciate it, and trust that he's got your best interests at heart and stop fighting him.
so well said. That appreciation is so big. That's huge for men. I see over here on TikTok, King is asking, "Hey Maggie, are you a fan of ceviche?" I'll eat it. I know that's like the raw fish and shrimp, but it's cooked with like lemon and lime juice and whatever. I'll eat it. It's not my favorite, but yeah, I'll eat it. All right. Bria says the Art of Home podcast is great for current and aspiring wives. Okay, that's good to know. Is that on YouTube? I haven't heard of it, but that's good. I love sharing different resources here. Bria says the interviews and deep dives are great. And she says that's a lot of sound and tried advice. All right, I'm just scrolling down to see if there's any other questions, and then we will wrap up since I dropped off. I forgot to charge. Team Peterson, we got the men saying, salute Maggie in chat. He says, marriage minded men want to take you off the market immediately. Thank you for saying that. When a man sees what he wants, it's just natural for him. Like, he's not going to waste around as long as you're presenting what he wants and he's marriage minded. He's trying to snatch that up. What do you say, Auntie Jenny?
I messed up, didn't I? Well, when I met him, I'm older than he is,
Okay.
about 3 years. But
Okay.
my parents are married. His parents weren't married,
Hmm.
and he never wanted to get married. And
Interesting.
then
Did you want to get married?
I did until I met him, and I thought, you know what, I'll go with it.
Hmm.
It's fantastic, and I thought I sort of like have this like foresight that I thought you're going to look hot when you're old. You know, you're going to be one of them like silver studs. You're going to
Silver fox?
silver fox. That's it. And I tell him now to this stage, you know what? You're hot. The older you get, the hotter you get. And he says you've got issues. But we were together for about, oh gosh, about I'd say 15 years. And then he turned up at my mum's in Barbados. And at those times we only had Skype. And he said, can you ask her if she'd marry me? But remember, my parents were married. His were never married. He never wanted to get married. He didn't believe in marriage. And because we've got like dry sense of humor, I said, you never. And then his face changed. He said, why wouldn't you marry me? And I said, oh, because you never want to get married. He goes, can't people change their minds? And I was like,
Oh,
no,
wow.
they can't. And then I realized that he was serious, but the moment had gone and he never asked me again.
Oh, no, Auntie Jenny.
Why are you together so long you never got married? Because so when he said marriage minded, I think sometimes as a woman, as you're with way like with you, your parents are together, that can attract men to think, well, she's come from good stock. Because even though my parents are divorced, they were still close. You know, my mum loved him. My dad says, oh, that's my friend. But I never in a million years would have thought that he'd change his mind. Because you know, some men don't change their mind about anything. And I never thought he'd change his mind about getting married. And for all the women out there that keep on saying, you will not ask a man, the worst thing I could ever do is say to him, will you marry me?
Oh,
That
yeah,
is,
never.
I would never do that. And I just thought, well, we're together.
I agree. Yeah, I mean,
He's not going anywhere, neither am I.
how about that? I
And I
know
don't
I've
like
been
him all
known.
the time. I love him all the time, but sometimes I just don't like him. And
And I think
sometimes
that's
he just
normal.
doesn't like me because people
Yeah.
think it's rosy all the time. I just give him his space. If he needs his space, he gives me my space. But that's the reason why I'm not married. It's not because
Mm.
I take him seriously.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I've been married, and like I said, I would love to be married again, but it's not up to us, you know. And ladies, that's a personal decision, you know. If I've told one of my consults, you know, do you want this man or do you want your timeline? And if your timeline is I have to be married in this, you know, 6 months, 1 year, 3 years, then you need to find someone who has that same timeline. But if you've got a good one and you know how rare they are, for me, second time around, I've made the decision that I'm okay with long term, but there was a time when, you know, I wanted marriage and family, so that's what I went for. But it's a personal decision. I just think we're better together. So thank you for that, Team Patterson, Peterson.
Can I just say, you need to be, as women, because I realized that when he had asked me, he'd actually saved all this money up. And when we sat there and discussed it, he actually thought I wanted a big wedding. I am really frugal. I can't see the point of feeding all those people.
Right.
I said, you can just go to the town hall. My wedding would cost about £1,000, including the honeymoon and the rings, because I'd worked it out in my head that that is what I think it would cost, the basic. That is all I need. Anything extra, we can just go away on holiday. Why do I need to hire a church, hire caterers? You know, the
I
And he
know, right?
saved this money. He'd actually saved all this money because he said, I know you wanted a big wedding. And I said, but we never discussed weddings ever. But all women want big weddings. No, I don't.
Oh my goodness. I hope, in my
I
mind, I'm like, how can we get that moment back? Like, is there a way to say, if you asked me, the answer would be yes.
He actually said to me that he said, you're mentally stronger than me. I'm physically stronger than you.
Hmm.
At the time, he couldn't give me an example, but I think he's coming around to my way of thinking. I think old age has a lot to do with it because
Mm,
he's younger than me, and I was sort of born a sick child, so to speak.
mm.
And as he gets older, you develop all these illnesses, and then I think men realize I need to like tie this woman down. I'm getting old,
I
and as a
understand.
7-year-old, nobody else wants you but me.
Only the one that had you when you weren't old. So we have a question from, is that Senator? He says, any plans to continue wife school? I don't have a wife school. I was on a wife school collab, but I am coming out with a femininity community. So stay tuned. That's going to be August 1st. I'll be announcing it. Several of you all have asked, okay, where's the book? Where's the course? Where's the whatever? I've been working very hard this summer. Auntie, do you have any teachings for wives to get prepared?
When I meet up with you, we're gonna
Oh,
together.
okay. We'll have to collab. Yeah,
That's
I sent you a message today about your seasonings. Alejandra says, exist a podcast of Laura Doyle and a married woman talk about how to fix the married and avoid divorce successfully. You listen to every day. Okay. So I guess Laura Doyle, there's another resource for you all, another podcast. All
Can I
right.
just say what I find? Because I'm not a podcaster. I'm not into social media. I don't even watch the news because I just like to live in my own little world. And I admired Kevin Samuels, but I used to think to myself, why do these women phone him up? Don't they know these things? Because I think because I was close to my gran and I was close to my mum, so whenever I came to Barbados, I stayed with my grandmother. She got up early. She done the animals. She baked everything from scratch. So I always had the upbringing, and I was one of these weird children for my Asperger's. I was always called weird. So I
Mm.
never actually hung around with anybody my age. It was always older people. Even now, my friends are in their 60s and 70s and even 80s.
Oh, wow.
And so it seems really strange to me that what was that? The thought came to my head today when I was thinking about your femininity, and I was thinking we have to teach women how to be women.
That is so true, Auntie. I'll be honest with all of you all. I don't know why anything that I say has gone viral or people are like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. For me, it is just common sense for me because it's the way that I was raised. And that's why I said my upbringing is like 80 to 90% of it or 70% of it. Of course, you can always refine and get better, but I think you're right. We do have to teach women how to be women because we think that competing with a man as a man is
Mm,
going to make us a better woman, and it actually does the opposite. I think the things that are uniquely woman in our superpower are are things that are just so can be so competitive if we and compelling if we use them in the right way. So I'll be working on that, you all. What does Mallory say? I got married at 18, which was a mistake. You didn't listen to anybody and he cheated. Oh no. Then you met your husband 4 years later. You've been together 10 years and been married 8 years. Yeah, we've all been through it.
no one's
Um,
perfect.
yes, no one's perfect. And that's why I said if we know we want marriage and relationship, I think starting early and going towards that, you may not hit it with the first one, but at least you keep your eye on the prize. I agree. I agree.
I think my partner, he was 18 and I was 21 when we met.
Oh my goodness, young love. Bria's gonna tell you about the farm and the chickens.
Yeah, I
Oh,
spoke to her today. I think it was today or this week on my Instagram. I couldn't. I'm terrible with names. I've got a brain like a sieve. And I was talking about this amazing woman, who she's a housewife and she's got homeschool and her husband built a sort of like classroom in her house and she was teaching the children because rather than get a dog, she got chickens and she grew up on. And I couldn't remember your name, Brie. I'm so sorry, but I remembered everything about her. The two lovely boys, the chickens, the eggs, and I actually spoke about that.
wow.
She
Yeah,
was
you
up
guys
today
have
in the
got me
show.
with the farm. That is awesome.
Oh, if you see it, because she came on my live once, it is
Ah,
amazing. It is
oh my
absolutely
goodness.
amazing.
Bria, I'll have to check it out. That's quite the accomplishment. Celine says your boyfriend, who's also white, is a fan of Kevin. His advice was universal. Yeah, it applied to everybody. Everybody who lives in this modern age, even though he focused on this community, his advice was universal to all people. I agree. I mean, Kevin, he said all the time how he had consults with people all over the world. You saw people would call in from Australia, the Middle East, everywhere. So
Because
he
people are
was.
people, no matter where they are. We're all still people.
Absolutely. Yes, the Wives Club. We had a question about that. The Wives Club will continue. We're having our first live stream this Friday night at 8:30 Eastern. We've had a little summer hiatus while we were getting our monetization stuff together. So yes, we'll go back to our regularly scheduled program. Aaron Laura said I dropped bars. Let me know which one. Good evening, Team Peterson. I'm just scrolling to see if we have any other questions and then we will wrap it out. The garden. Okay, I think this is where we were.
So, but when I get over there, we're gonna work on Maggie's garden.
I got this big old backyard, y'all. There's nothing over there. I know.
Massive.
I
It's
know.
big enough for a kitchen studio. We're all praying for that.
Yes,
A
yes. Thank you
proper
all
studio.
so
And then
much.
we're going to start planting seeds in pots. Everything that she grows, we're going to throw in lovely pots.
Oh my goodness. That would be great. I could just go back and clip off what I wanted. In my mind, that's how it is, but I'm
I
not
did
there
that
yet, so
today
I
with
need
my
help.
spinach.
Mm,
And I grew that
that sounds
spinach in
great.
2 months.
Oh my gosh, that sounds so yummy. Yes, I need to learn. Celine is asking, do you think modern women have a problem being too picky with what they want? They get 80% and they're still not happy 100% because someone told them they could have 100%, and that's just not the real world. What do you think, Auntie Jenny?
I did I say that today? I think I was saying about with my the granddaughters. I don't tell them, "Oh, you're beautiful" anymore. I said, "What are you?" We're intelligent. Because
Ah,
you're not beautiful because you've got a big head, you've got long legs, and I'm going to keep it real with them. So they can't get
mhm,
picky. You be lucky. I've got a big head, right? And if I can find a man with my big head, you'd be lucky to find a man with a big head. So they're not
mm.
all these ears, they're not princesses. I was told today you can't call us kids because we're not goats. And you're not a princess either. you
Oh,
know, and that's what I tell them. You have to keep it real, and then they won't get too picky. It's when sometimes when they're spoiled, they raise as princesses that they have this high aura where we're better than everybody else and we deserve better. And oh, the man, he does this, this, and this, but what about the things that he doesn't do? And I always say, look in the mirror. We're not perfect.
we all have flaws. That is so true. And I think nobody is expecting perfection, and I think that's a thing that women have to realize. Men expect you to have flaws, men expect you to age, men expect you to get sick sometime. Of course, you want to present your best self, but you're fooling yourself if you think there's some level of I'm a 10. I say all the time, I know I'm a 5.
And
Ah,
not everybody is perfect for anyone.
yeah.
I could be a man's worst nightmare. I am not as ladylike and as graceful as I aspire to be like Maggie. My mouth runs off with me, but I'm perfect for my man.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I
You
think that
was on
self-awareness.
your own. I mean,
Mhm.
I went out tonight. I came in, went out with a friend, a male friend. He was taking one of my female friends out for a birthday, and he got drunk. She was like, "Oh, what are we gonna do?" And I just said, "I've got a Barbados license. Give me the car keys. I'll make sure everybody gets home safe." And it's things like
Mm.
that. Well, whereas she said, "But I can't drive," and to me, if you can't ride a bike and you can't drive and you're over 30, there's something wrong with you.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Kenneth Williams, for the super chat. I see he says, I just want to show you some Georgia love. Thank you for the love.
Hey, Maggie, I'm still loving the Greek colours on you. I've noticed it's a theme.
I'm telling you, yes, I just got so inspired, so inspired. Oh, yes. And it's
And can I
comfortable.
ask
It's
a
like,
question that's been on my mind before we go?
absolutely.
Did you find the pearl?
Yes, it was underneath the stove. Oh my god. I had to get down on the floor and get a flashlight under the stove, and it was right there. I was panicking, y'all. Now I lost the other one, the diamond one. It's around here somewhere, just moving fast, changing them, but yes, we have the Nana's pearls on.
That's why I can't do jewelry because I lose it.
Ah,
But necklace, I'm the sort of woman. I remember somebody bought me a lovely chain. I bent down on the kitchen and caught it on the kitchen cabinet. It was everywhere, and I don't wear jewelry. I lose it.
oh, no.
I'm clumsy like that.
You guys are subbing to Auntie Jenny. Oh, yeah, y'all still remember the viral clip? All right, I'm going up from the bottom now. Celine says men expect very minimal from women. Men want a functional Toyota, women want a Bugatti. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I like that.
Love, we have compliments for Auntie Jenny is beautiful. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Aaron
I
Laura
was I
says,
did today because I was talking. I took one of my sons. I've got lots of sons, especially in Barbados, and I happened to be talking to my man on WhatsApp, and he was there, and he looks and he says, "Oh, is that your son?" And my man was like, "I said my son." He said, "Is that your son?" And he said, "All right then, mum." He absolutely loved. I'm not going to hear the last of that because the young boy thought that my man was my son.
uh-oh.
So for you to say I'm feeling beautiful today, thank you very much.
Yes, we need more common sense, Aaron, and yes, Kevin Samuels did give helpful tips. Diana, we're not related by blood. I just call Auntie Jenny. I mean, in my culture, that's what we call any woman our senior out of respect. We call men uncle, just kind of like Mr. and Mrs. here in the South. But I did meet Auntie Jenny in London. It was an absolute
Can I just
pleasure.
say something? When I went to Ghana, it was like going to Barbados in the late 70s.
Mm,
And it's very rare. I've never been anywhere where people look like family.
mm-hmm.
The faces, I know that a lot of Jamaican people say they feel the same thing with Nigeria, but when I went to Ghana, I was at home.
Yes,
The
yes,
people
I
all look
remember
like
it too.
me, the round faces, the big old cheeks. I thought that looks like my auntie. That they actually looked like family.
I felt the same way. I mean, I was born in Ghana, but I remember like seeing, I was like, oh my God, that looks like my brother. That looks like my auntie. I had the same exact experience.
So I
It's
have a
nothing like it.
family.
Mm,
I just feel
that's
from
wonderful.
Barbados, we're from the Caribbean, but I know that I've got Ghanaian in me.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
After going there and
Yeah.
seeing that, it was just like being at home. The people were lovely. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I can't wait
Oh,
to
that
go.
warms my heart. I love it too. Celine says having a big wedding would stress me out. I've done it, y'all. I mean, second time around, it would be, yeah, no, it
The
just,
way I see it is, you're going to get this big wedding. Do you own your own house outright? Do you own your own car outright? Have you got
mm,
any debts? You know, do you really want all those people there, or is it peer pressure? Because
mm,
sometimes you find your auntie or your mom or this auntie said you haven't seen the people in years.
mm,
And I just think that it's stressful and it's a waste of money. Everybody's
Mhm.
talking about generational wealth, but you're going to go and spend thousands of pounds on a wedding. And then it's like my mum always says, you get the people with lace in the windows and sardines at the table. Do you want to be one of those people?
Lace in the windows and sardines at the table.
My mum had
I
lots
know.
of these sayings, yeah.
I feel the same way when I see somebody who has like a very, very fancy car, but then, you're living, and you don't have to live, in a mansion. But to me, like, I'd rather put my money into a home. I drive an old car that's been paid for. I've never had a car payment. I just pay cash for it. But I just never understood that. But to
I've
each
never
their
bought a
own.
new car yet. Because
No, maybe one day.
if you ask the men about stuff like that, they always tell you is that if you get a new car, once you drive it out the lot,
Mhm.
it's devalued.
Mhm.
And it's the same thing about when you spend all that money on a wedding. When you wake up the day after your wedding, what have you got? How much money have you actually spent?
Excuse me.
That you
Usually you're in
yourself
debt.
sit for a house.
Mhm. Absolutely. It's crazy. I would never do that. The Watcher Supreme says, "Hey Maggie, I remember in a previous video you said you have two professional certifications. What were they? Plus, I love Auntie Jenny." Yes. So, undergraduate degree, graduate degree, and then I'm a certified business analyst, which is one of my IT certifications, and I'm also a Six Sigma yellow belt, which is like process improvement. But all that is paper, coming up through the ranks. But hopefully that answers your question.
That's amazing.
Uh-huh. Thank
I
you.
mine's all like hands-on, like children and nutritionist and you know
Hmm.
medication because I always think there's money in old people and children.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, because they are probably the most vulnerable and they need a lot of support and resources. So absolutely.
And people always have babies, and you're always going to get old. So if you want to have a job, always think to yourself something to do with children or babies because they're always going to have them, and something to do with old people or own a morgue because we're all going to die.
And on that note, Lily says, Auntie Jenny, I appreciate you encouraging young women to do the right thing while they're in their youth. And you saw me on the podcast. And I commend you and Miss Maggie. Thank you. Yes, I went out there for wife's school with Pearl. Okay, now my other device is saying low battery. So let me just see here. Tara says, I know this is off topic, but what is my best tip on raising boys? You have two, ages 3 and 1.
You got a garden?
Right. I survived finding places where they can run around. You are not going to get little boys just have this battery in them. They just are who they are. So playgrounds, bounce houses, backyards, swimming pools if they can swim. Every sport we did. We didn't do baseball. We did basketball, swimming, karate, like everything. I just survived. Lots of food and lots of naps.
And
What do you say?
what I tended to do was I got all the stuff out because I've got a 90-foot garden and I always had a garden no matter where I live and do an all day packed lunch, all day picnic for the children. You've got lots of jugs now where they can press and get their own drink out.
Yeah,
You get it all out there on a table, you put it all out there and let them get on with it. Let boys be boys. Let them eat dirt. Let them, get dirty. You know, my grandson, at first, he's like, oh, I've got dirt on my hand. I said, rub it on your trousers or wash your hands. You got to be toughen up because when he's around his mum, it's like, oh, my hands are dirty. Oh, let's wipe them. Let's wash them. No, you get dirty. And now he's out there. I'm like, you've got mud on your face. Yes, Grandma, I know that. I'm going to have a bath later. Fine. you know, and I just leave them at the garden and they get on with it. They run around, they climb stuff. They've got the, miniature tools, hammer stuff that you can hammer and bang.
absolutely. Yeah,
Painting, they
boys,
love
all of
something
that.
paint it. The thing is, when you've got boys like that, the thing is make them tired, not you.
There you go. There you go. Diana says kids don't come with a manual. If you are a boy mom, you will learn. Put them in a place where they can run and yell and have fun, and you just, okay, everybody's okay, nobody's bleeding. Absolutely, because as moms we want to protect them, but when you watch men play with boys, they wrestle, they get down on the floor, like that's what boys need. So allow them to be, and you just survive. And let them get dirty. That's just what
I always
boys
say
do.
that I spent more time supervising. You know, they say, "Oh, were you a mummy, mummy, hands on mummy?" I said, "No, I was a supervisor. I supervised a lot."
I love it.
And
Ooh,
that's what I
Linda
do.
got a
I'm a
spa
disabled
box.
woman. I've got cameras all around. When the
Mhm.
teams are out the back garden, there's camera. I can speak to them, and I can just relax and supervise.
Exactly. I love it. Linda got a spa box. Lucasely's talking about our mystery as women. All right. Oh, I see you, Kenneth. Thank you so much. I'm just scrolling back. Marion says, what spas would you recommend in Georgia? I like the St. Regis. And there's so many. Inbox me. I'll send you some other links. But if you want like a luxury spa, that's a great one. If you want some smaller ones too, Stone Mountain has a spa at the Evergreen Hotel. Like if you want fancy, fancy, but I got some smaller stuff too. Yes, Aaron says, I'm not a drinker, but I'd love a wine tour. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Ooh. Team Peterson coming through for the men. He says, quick tip, black dress and red lip will get our attention in any room. Well,
The difference
ladies.
is that unlike Maggie, yes, I've got the black dress. I have never seen lipstick on her teeth. I would have it all over. And that woman, so no. And not only that, my man doesn't like makeup. Maybe that's why, because I would get it all over. I like touching, and I can't do.
Mm.
And I always admire. I think she never gets it on her teeth. She's always got a big old smile, and it's always a perfect smile with the perfect lips. Even my friends, they said, "Are you watching that woman with the big old smile? She smiles a lot." I said, "Yeah, they love your smile." All my friends in Barbados, they talk about. They don't know your name. They call you the lady with the big old smile because they say she's always smiling. And I said, and I've never seen. I'll be like this. I'll be like, I've never seen lipstick on your teeth. I admire that. That's a proper woman right there.
Aw, thank you so much. I do check, usually I check before and I do use a,
Blot.
yes, and the one that's like a stain a little bit, so it kind
Oh
of,
yeah.
yeah, so it's not too moved too much, but yeah. Oh, thank you for that. I always want to represent you all well, and all right, y'all. I think we got through to everything. I'm just scrolling. If I missed your question, um, oh, Sarah says, "Why is it so important to be a wife?" It only is if it's important to you. It's not for everybody, and I never say that it's, you have to do this. I'm just saying if you wanna be a wife, start moving towards that.
I
Aaron
think
Lewis.
it's important. I think it's important for society. I think it's important for your children's mental health, for their well-being, for how they get treated in society, for how people see you, for how you're perceived by society. And I think it says a lot about you for being a wife. It's better than being a baby mother. That's my missus. That's my partner. To be at my age, I'm 55 and I'm a girlfriend.
Mm,
There's nothing great about being 55 and being a girlfriend.
I
You know,
understand.
who is this? That's my girlfriend. And I think, not only am I not a girl, I'm a woman. Or you say, that's my woman. So it makes a big difference to how you're
It
being
does.
perceived. To me, it makes a big difference how you feel. I mean, nowadays, yes, the man can say, that's my wife. You've been together for over like 10 years or so, that's my wife. But I think it is extremely important. So important that my grandchild said to her mum, I think my dad should marry you because you need to be a wife, because we've got different names. And she said that when she was 4 years old.
The
So it's
children
you might
know.
not think it's an important, And in the long run, because if you look at Maggie and how she was raised with her parents, I was raised with my parents. We wouldn't be saying that Maggie was raised with her parents if her mother was not a wife. And all the people that have stable minds, stable mindsets, and stable relationship have come from families where there's a wife and a husband. So unlike Maggie who says, "Oh, each their own," no, I'm going to say to you, it's very important, extremely important. It means everything because growing up, that's all you wanted to be as a wife. That's why you had little ironing boards and little kitchens, and we all had the little cookers, and you learnt to sew at school. All those things prepared you for being a wife. To me, that is the most important thing a woman could be as a wife and a parent. Other than that, what's the point of being a woman? Those are the only things that you could be, that you can do, that no other that the men can't do. Men can't be a wife, they can't bear kids. You can be a mother, you can be a wife. Those are the two. Forget about your jobs, forget about your careers. Those are the two most important things. That is what you are put on this earth to be. I said it. Maggie won't because she's nice.
And on that note, I think we're going to wrap, you all. I can't say it any better. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I see the comments, y'all, but I can't top that. I 100% believe that it does matter, and it's important to me, and so that's what I promote. So thank you, Auntie Jenny. Y'all, it is midnight on the East Coast. I just wanted to come in and give you all a Q&A. I try to do these from time to time. So our commercials, again, if you all would please vote for me for free once per day. The next cutoff is this Thursday, where we go into the quarterfinals. You all have kept me in first place, and I appreciate it so, so much. I have to be in first place. We're in the group phase to get down to the quarterfinals and possibly win a trip to New York to learn plating from Carla Hall. Tomorrow, Wednesday, is going to be cooking with Aisha. So we'll be making pizza chips. So this will be a family-friendly recipe if you want to get the kiddos with you. I posted the ingredients, so that'll be dinner time tomorrow. And then I'll be traveling next week. So I'll be doing more dining documentaries. I'll be in Philadelphia the first half of the week for work. And then the second half of the week, I'll be in Charlotte, North Carolina. So I'll be reviewing what I'm eating with you all. So that's all that I have. I'm so glad that you hopped on, Auntie Jenny. Thank you to my stream sponsors, Kenneth Williams for the $20, Luke Hazley for the $5. I appreciate you all so, so much. Yes, we loved having Auntie Jenny here in her beautiful black gown. And oh. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, y'all are coming in, but we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Hello, 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 everyone. Okay, yeah, Instagram battery died, but TikTok, thank you all so much for being here. I will see you tomorrow for cooking with Aisha. Thank you so much. Class is dismissed. If I can figure out how to turn it off. All right, and then Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Thank you all so much for being here. I'll see you tomorrow for Cooking with Aisha. Class is dismissed.